Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKellar Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKellar Road in Oakwood. With 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups, McKellar Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. And by Turner Wood & Smith, serving your insurance needs for over 100 years. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. And again, this week football starts things off. And our game of the week was a wildly entertaining affair. When the dust settled, Lumpkin County had edged out a Region 7 AAA win 38-35 over host East Hall. The Vikings kept getting behind and in the second half barely touched the ball as the Indians used some big plays and a ball control offense to take the win. A key turnover when the Vikings were driving for a tying touchdown came when Lumpkin defensive back Cal Threlkill picked off a Devin Watson pass in the end zone. The Indians then took the ball down the field for a 42-yard field goal by Noah Cromer, a 10-point swing that proved to be the final blow for the Vikings. Quarterback Watson was back in uniform for the Vikes after rehabbing a shoulder injury, and he had 146 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as 203 yards passing, including a toss for 44 yards to Junior Lee, who finished with 109 yards receiving. Jocks Ash had 82 yards on the ground and 2 scores. That's a lot of offense to wind up losing. But give Lumpkin credit, says Viking coach Brian Gray.
Coach Brian Gray with us now. Brian, it had to be a little frustrating there in the second half. You just didn't have the ball very much, and the one time you had and was about to tie it, the interception would have to be the play of the game.
Yep, I mean, we just ran the wrong route, made the wrong throw, whatever, I don't know. We'll look at it in the tape. We just got to tackle. We got pushed around tonight, and that was the difference. We have to line up. You got to tackle people. Simple football. And we didn't tackle, and they played better. They were more physical tonight, and they won.
You had to be pleased, though, with the fact that you didn't give up. You were 2 touchdowns down a couple of times and came back to tie up the game.
I was very pleased with offense. We dropped some passes that probably could have gotten a touchdown or 2 early on that we should have not dropped, but that's football. We've got to have to regroup. Now we're in a hole in the region. And we've got to play 2 of the best teams coming up here back-to-back, and we need to figure it out.
Dawson got beat 26-3, Mike Walford just told me from up top. So, you know, you still got some things to play for here, Coach.
Our goal is to make the playoffs the first time in 10 years, and that's what our goal is. And we're in a little bit of a hole to get that goal, but we're going to have to fight through. And I know Dawson real well. They're very banged up. They're going to be healthier next week. They're going to come to play, and they can run the ball. So we got things to fix.
The defense needs to probably just step it up a little bit. Your offense is clicking pretty good. I mean, you put 35 points on the board tonight, Coach.
Yeah, and we just got to make tackles. It's real simple. Tackle. Football's blocking, tackling, and we didn't tackle. And that's a more physical team won the game, and they deserve the victory, and they outplayed us, and we're going to have to figure some things out here.
Now, for Lumpkin, Gunnar Wood scored on an 82-yard jaunt, and Bradley Womack ran one in from 75 yards out as they totaled 185 yards and 176 yards, respectively. Wood added another TD, and the Indians got one from quarterback Zach Matthews, too. All in all, quite a win for first-year coach Ty Maxwell, who came from Chestatee here in Hall County.
Coach Ty Maxwell of Lumpkin County, big win for you tonight, Coach, in a real shootout. I said if you didn't have a dog in the fight, this was a great game to watch, but it was a really great game for you guys because you came out on top.
Anytime you come out on top, it's definitely a good thing. But we knew it was going to be a dogfight coming into it. You know, Brian Gray's got a great team over here at East Hall, and they've really been battling injuries. We knew the quarterback would be back tonight, and we knew that, you know, we struggled containing him, and we knew that he was going to be a burden to do so coming in. But our kids fought, they battled, they kept the faith, and came out on top tonight.
Not a whole lot of defense played, but the defensive play of the game was the interception in the end zone by Lane Smith over there. That turned into a 10-point turnaround in a game that wound up being a 3-point game.
It was actually our corner, Cal Threlkill.
Was it Threlkill?
Yeah, and he's just, he's a little baller. He does a little bit of everything, soccer, basketball, football, and he makes plays when they need to be made, and he came down with it, and it definitely propelled us right there at the end.
And you had a great play out of your quarterback and your running backs tonight, too. The offense was clicking.
Definitely clicking tonight. Our running backs and quarterbacks who all start on defense played real hard tonight, and really proud of their two-sided effort.
So what this do for you, Coach? I mean, you got to be jacked up a little bit now.
Well, we're jacked up, but this, it's an exciting, obviously, to get a region win. That's what this is all about. We knew our team had this in them. We've been battling, we've been struggling, we've been losing a couple close ball games, but our kids have kept the faith. They've had a great attitude, they've had tremendous effort, and I'm just so excited for our kids and our community to come out on top tonight.
Ball control offense worked it to a T.
Yeah. Oh, that's why we do it. It allows us country boys to compete with anybody we feel like.
Now, Maxwell's Indians will face Franklin County next. The Lions squeaked by Banks County 22-21. East Hall will play at Dawson County next. Now, Dawson lost to West Hall 26-3 in region play as the Spartans got back on the winning track after losing at North Oconee. Ty Statham had 96 yards and a touchdown, and Quan Williams, back from some sore ribs, added 69 yards, 2 scores, and reportedly a key end-zone interception as well. Bradley Hodgson kicked 2 field goals and a pair of extra points. Now, the Spartans will have this Friday off before hosting East Hall and the next Friday. Johnson got its first win of the season as they beat Riverside 16-7. Jesse Griggs led the Johnson Rushers with 97 yards and a score. Chase Sims threw to Orion Pittman 46 yards and a touchdown. The only completed pass for the Knights, we hear, who also got a 25-yard field goal and a PAT from Isaac Henry. Riverside got a 69-yard touchdown pass from Hunter Sims to Tyreek Holmes and a Jordan Ainsley extra point for the early 7-0 lead, only to lose to the Knights. Well, Johnson has a bye week while RMA is at Strong Rock Christian on Friday. The Patriots of Strong Rock are 2-2 this season. Okay, now this is kind of unusual, but Gainesville had a win and a loss on the same night. Now let me explain. Mikey Gonzalez threw for 203 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Elephants' 47-13 win over Heritage. But the Crimson Herd also lost running back Chris Bird to a broken ankle after Bird had already put up 55 yards of offense before he got hurt. He'd also caused a fumble and then ran that in for 25 yards and a score. He'll be missed until he can get back, but who knows if he'll get back this season. We'll just have to wait and see. Chris Williamson had 2 touchdown catches and 60 receiving yards for Gainesville. Lewis Cousin had an interception, which set up Chandler Staten for the first of 4 field goals, the last of which was also set up by a Cousin pick. Gonzalez also had touchdown tosses to Rodney Lackey and Messiah Dorsey. Gainesville will host Salem next. The Seminoles beat Wandabera 31-24 to go to 4-1 on the year. Lakeview picked up its first win of the season and its first region win ever when they beat Providence Christian 38-3. For years, the Lions have played a non-region schedule. Tay Turner had 5 touchdowns in the Lions win, as they also got a 27-yard field goal from Jack Perkins, and Lakeview will host Hebron Christian next. Flower Branch got a region win, 17-7 at Cedar Shoals. The Falcons' Jason Johnson had 75 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, 1 each to Zach Smith and Hayden Coley. Kicker Will Filson kicked a field goal to add to his and the Branch's total points. Flowery Branch will host Windabara next. As we said, the Barrow Bulldogs lost to Salem. In other games, North Hall fell to Stevens County 48-19. Maddox Turner led the Trojans with 92 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Drew Atha snuck one over for a score, and Jack Brown also scored a TD for North Hall, who will host North Oconee. And our next game of the week, we'll have highlights of that game next week here on the show. The Titans will be formidable. They beat Chestatee 51-7 last Friday, and things get no easier for the Chestatee War Eagles, who host unbeaten Buford next. Well, look at this. Gainesville alumnus Deshaun Watson got that starting job at Clemson, and he made the most of it as the Tigers beat North Carolina 50-35. And Deshaun set a school record with 6 touchdown passes. He had 435 yards passing, and he ran for 28 more yards, and that ties the ACC record. Only Taj Boyd at Clemson has thrown for more yards in a game. Well, hail to the champions. Results from the Hall County Volleyball Tournament when we continue. Gary Glenn back on the set of Hall County Sports along with Rob Bruce, who's pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church, the place where we have our studios. And Rob, you had some interesting comments come to you in a recent service.
I sure did, Gary. All churches say they're friendly and welcoming, but y'all and I, and Gary, you and I both know that sometimes that's not always the case. But here at McEver Road, we receive a lot of comments from our guests that we are. In fact, yesterday I got one that said, "I love that all are welcomed." So if you're looking for a church home that will welcome you, we ask for you to take a visit at our church, McEver Road United Methodist.
All right, Rob. Thanks very much. Sounds great, and we'll see you in church on Sunday.
Okay, Gary. See you Sunday.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. As we said, volleyball up this segment, and the North Hall team went undefeated through 5 matches to win the Hall County Volleyball Tournament this past Saturday. Lily Pascal had 73 assists, 7 kills, and 4 aces, while Sydney Cleveland contributed 28 kills, 11 aces, 10 digs, and a block to lead the Lady Trojans. North Hall defeated all of its opponents, including Lakeview, twice in straight sets to become the gold bracket champion. Julie Daniels had 13 kills, 8 aces, and 3 blocks, and 7 digs for the tournament, which saw the Trojans beat Gainesville, West Hall, Lakeview, and Johnson to advance to the championship game against the Lady Lions. Autumn Tucker and Jen Milliken combined for 36 kills and 6 blocks, and Mackenzie Bryant added 20 digs and 10 aces. Now, prior to the tournament, North Hall had beaten Monroe area as Pascal had 19 assists, 2 kills, and a pair of aces for the Lady Trojans. And then she put up 36 assists, 4 kills, and 2 aces to lead the Lady Trojans to a win against Flowery Branch and a loss to Lambert. Cleveland pitched in 15 kills, 12 digs, and 4 aces for North Hall, and Bryant had 10 digs. Well, her Lady Trojans are playing pretty well, says Coach Emily Hughes.
Well, we are certainly excited about being able to come out and go 5-0 and not drop a set to some good teams, because like you said, Hall County does have some good volleyball going, and we certainly feel like we're at the top of our game right now in the season, and this was just another kind of stepping stone for us as we prepare for the area tournament and hopefully for the state tournament. So.
Coach speak is always about peaking at the right time, so you sound like you're saying that.
I think so. I don't want to say it too early because we still have a couple of good weeks left. But, yeah, it's all kind of starting to come together, and we've got good pieces that are falling into place. So I'm excited.
You continue to have good leadership, don't you?
Absolutely. I couldn't ask for – I've got 5 seniors, and all of which contribute in certain ways. And I really do.
Name me some names. Name me some. Talk to me about. I mean, I see them in the paper, and we recount their names here on the show all the time.
Well, of course, you can't not talk about Sydney Cleveland enough. I mean, she's our outside hitter and just one of our senior captains, and is phenomenal volleyball player and athlete in general. And Julie Daniels is kind of the same. They bring so much to the court, and then we have a freshman setter who has really stepped up just from the first round and first tournament we played until now. Lily Pascal, who is doing a great job for us. So I'm excited.
Where are you going to have to tweak it a little bit? I mean, you always are looking to improve some things to make a run in the state tournament.
We just have to stay the course, and it's just a focus thing for us, and just that believing that we're there to compete and that we can win. We've got good defense, and when our defense translates the way we want it to, it opens up good things for our offense. So I feel like if we can just keep the confidence and the mindset of being able to compete with the best teams, then we're going to be okay, because we are one of the best teams.
So how much of this actually is mental?
Oh, a ton of it. I would say 70% is the mental part for us. So we try and practice that part as much as we do the actual volleyball stuff. So it's a big deal.
When does the area tournament start?
We start October the 7th. And again, not sure quite where that'll be held. The first and second seeds are hosting, so we want it to be us.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, Lakeview lost in that championship match to North Hall after advancing to the championship bracket with wins over West Hall and Gainesville. Lakeview's Katie White, with 58 digs as well as 18 kills and a pair of aces, passed the 1,000 career digs mark in the tournament, with the Lions coming back from a set down to beat Chestatee to reach the final. Katie Gay added 16 kills, 4 aces, and 37 digs, while Peaches Shipley contributed 16 kills and a block, and Rachel Unger notched 15 kills. Now, prior to the tournament, Lakeview had beaten Athens Christian, lost to Prince Avenue Christian, and beat Johnson. They're racing at Road Atlanta this weekend. That story when we come back. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with child care, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. The show is HallCounty Sports Television. Well, when October rolls around, you know there are a couple things going to be happening in our area. We're going to be having the leaves starting to change, and then just down the road from our studios here, down on Highway 53, Road Atlanta will be kicking off the Petit Le Mans, and this is going to be the 17th annual Petit Le Mans, powered by Mazda. And joining us is a man that's been with us before, Jeff Lee, the president and general manager of Road Atlanta. Jeff, thanks for coming in again.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it very much.
A little bit of a different look to the Petit Le Mans this year. It's you've had some more people get involved.
Yeah, actually, it's the two series, Grand Am, which we ran in springtime of last year, and the American Le Mans series, which has always run at Petit Le Mans, have combined forces. And so now it's called the Tudor United Sports Car Championship, which is an amalgamation of both of those series. Very much a similar sort of racing and so forth, still the sports cars, still the ones that race at Le Mans. But now there's more regional and national involvement because of the Grand Am cars as well. Mm. So a really nice cross-section of Ferraris, Aston Martins, Porsches, BMWs, and of course American muscle with Viper and Corvette and so forth. So
this has always been a great thing for the fans. I mean, that was one of your taglines, I remember, for many years during the advertising, Petit Le Mans for the fans. The main race is going to be the 10-hour race on Saturday,
correct, yes.
On October the 4th. But there are other things that are going on. Yeah. Tell me about some of those.
Well, basically from Wednesday through Saturday, we've got different races, 5 different series, and then Petit itself, so really 6 series in total. Some of those will have 2 races. That's everything from the MX-5 Cup, which is the little Mazdas. Maybe their top speed's only 125 miles an hour, but you can cover a dozen of them with a postage stamp in the lead. Really fun racing. The Super Trofeo from Lamborghini, you want to talk about the variance from one type of car to another. Yeah. Bumping fenders between a bunch of Lamborghinis is kind of fun to watch. That much expensive metal could run around. The Porsche GT3 Cup, IMSA Lights, and then of course the Continental Sports Car Challenge. So all of those are running Thursday and Friday. And then the big race, which also features the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Challenge, which is a race within a race for the Tudor Championship. And these, it's only the 4 major races in the U.S. That's Watkins Glen 6 hour, Daytona 24 hours, Sebring 12 hours, and of course Petit Le Mans.
So this is an actual, depending on where they finished in those other races, where they finish here, determines the overall series championship?
Well, there's 2 things at Road
Atlanta. 2 things.
There's the series championship,
okay,
but also this Patron championship, which is only for the endurance races.
Okay.
So the whole series, which runs the number of sprint races, 2-hour and 45-minute races as well. But the endurance races, where like a Petit, they'll have 3 or 4 drivers. It's 10 hours long. A lot can happen in that period of time when you're beating a car around, 7,000 gear shifts over time, and approximately 1,000 miles they're going to run. So they can go through. There's a fair amount of entropy at a race like Petit Le Mans. It's not just how fast can you go for 40 laps. It really puts the car, the engineer, and the driver to a task.
Now, these teams come from all over the country, and occasionally with people from all over the world, I was about to say, because I've seen a lot of those drivers that we have interviewed before and talked to them. They come from outside of this country.
Absolutely. I think we've got competitors from 27 different countries this year.
And this is a big boom for the local economy here in the Gainesville-Hall County area, isn't it?
Yeah, we're very fortunate that it's the largest international annual sporting event in Georgia, and brings in from about 40 states, if I recall correctly, and like I say, about 20 countries. So it brings in a lot of tax dollars and a lot of people in the hotels and restaurants and so forth. And I like to say for the locals, it's a great thing because they don't all stay and congest everything all year long. They just come in now. It's fun to have the event, and then they leave us their tax dollars and go away. So it's very well received. It's funny that so many people internationally know of the event, even more so sometimes than the folks locally.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that NASCAR is getting involved with all of this now.
Yeah, NASCAR used to have the Grand Am Series, which is one of the 2 that combined here. And they recently, a couple of years back, purchased the racetrack, Sebring, which is our sister racetrack from the Panos family, and then also the American Le Mans Series, which they've now combined to this. So we're actually a NASCAR-owned facility.
You think we might see some of that coming a road race come here once upon a time, maybe?
There's a few rumors out there, and I'm neither here to say they're true or false. But what I will say is that road racing is really catching on in NASCAR these days. The teams, the drivers, the fans have all realized that it's got as much excitement and jeopardy and fun as the old short track races.
The fans can put themselves at various positions around the track and this. And once again, this is a fan-friendly event. In fact, I'm looking on my notes here, and kids 12 and under get in free.
That's right. Yeah, it makes it a very good value because, you know, if you've got a family of 5, 3 kids under 12 or under, and 2 adults, you get in for just the price of the 2 adults. And as you say, there's so much to do. There's the expo area where they can come up and see the latest Ferrari or get the regional or local collectible from the driver they like. They can play the greatest video games, the latest thing. And then on race time, all week long, by the way, you can get down to the paddock, meet the drivers, the teams, and so forth with a general admission ticket. You don't need anything really fancy. But on race day, you can actually go right down on the racetrack before the race starts with the cars as they're getting prepared, which is, you know, a lot of the stick and ball sports are great, but you can't go down and sit in the dugout with the pros.
Not usually. Not usually. Now, I'm an old guy, so I remember when Paul Newman raced at Atlanta Sports Car Club of America and things like that. But I see here also that, and I know that he's interested in it, Patrick Dempsey. Grey's Anatomy, McDreamy for all of you folks out there that know that guy, for the ladies, and he's done some movies and so forth. And he's actually come to this area. I think he has some relatives or something around this area.
Well, his team is based here.
Okay, and the team. So is he going to be here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be racing in the GT Daytona class, and he fields at times a couple of different cars through his team, and he's becoming an accomplished racer, and then he's got some good local drivers that race with him. And we've got a number of drivers around here that are very competitive nowadays.
I was going to ask you, some of the local teams here have been competitive at this race in the past.
Absolutely, yeah, and so, you know, you never know when you're going to see your neighbor out there taking home a Petit Le Mans trophy. So it's fun for the people that live here locally and shop at the local store with some of our racers that are internationally known, certainly nationally known in the sports car racing set, and yet they're out here as the major combatants with some of the world's finest.
Who are some of the major teams? Who are some of the favorites? I'll ask you as not as a coach, but as the president and general manager of the track. Who are the people to beat?
Well, there's some great races going on. For instance, in the GT style cars. The SRT Vipers and the Corvettes have just been taking it to some of the European folks, so that's really exciting, and Action and a number of the other teams in the Ganassi guys are going to be here. They'll even have in the prototypes. They'll even have some of their IndyCar stars like Scott Dixon and so forth. I think is planned to come. So you never know. Again, a 10-hour race. Right. So much can happen. But it'll be the best and the finest out there this weekend. And
it gets underway on Saturday morning. The main race starts at
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. So there's a chance you could be racing under the lights a little bit, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they will race into the darkness. And we don't light the track. That's part of what makes it really fun. On Thursday night practice, people are welcome to come out and see them practice in the darkness. And then on race day, it actually starts at 11:15 and goes for 10 hours. So it'll be dark.
Oh, yeah. Well dark. It gets dark around here around 8 o'clock now.
And it's so fun. Like if you go up on Spectator Hill where you can see the cars coming towards you through the S's, and to watch these cars virtually catching their headlights. And the difference in top speed between the prototype cars, which are basically like a rocket ship on the ground, and the production cars, which are a little closer to what you'd see, the GT cars, are a little closer to what you see in a showroom, still pretty advanced. You know, the closing speeds can be 50, 60 miles an hour at the top speed.
So they're having to dodge one another and weave their way through different cars.
Right, while they're in their own race, they might be passing or getting passed by a group in another race. So it really makes for a lot of excitement. And of course, as you know, Road Atlanta has blind corners, undulations. It's one of the things I think that makes it fun for the fans is there's places where you can go out and be 30 feet away from a race car at top speed, or where you can sit back like we talked about in the S's or in the amphitheater style area in turn 10 and watch them from afar and see all the different dynamics go on. So.
All right, Jeff Lee, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Sounds like a fine time will be had by all.
It should be fun.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Got more HallCounty Sports for you in just a moment.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. treasures worth protecting, and a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round. You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes. So visit owner Danny Hammock and his staff of professionals at 3365 Mountain View Road in Gainesville, or give them a call at 770-535-7278. That's Mountain View Auto Repair for your complete auto service.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, HallCounty Sports, and we start the wrap-up with cross country. Chester T runners won both individual races at the Clear Creek Cross Country Invitational. In fact, the War Eagles took the top 3 spots in the boys' race, led by top finisher Jack Carnes, who won it 18:23.92 his time. Ivan Martin took second with an 18:26.39, and Logan Brock was third. And in the girls' race, Lindsey Grader won her 3rd consecutive meet with a 21:57, and Abby Cleach took 5th for the Lady War Eagles. In the team race, the Chester T boys finished 3rd overall behind Dalton and Cartersville, and the Lady War Eagles also finished 3rd behind Dawson County and Cartersville. The West Hall boys cross-country team finished 2nd at the Soaring Eagle Invitational with Manny Mata, Nicholas Silva, Kelvin Reyes, Eldon Barahona, and Edgar Almares, all leading the Spartans. The Riverside cross-country team finished 2nd at their first home meet behind Union County and ahead of Towns County for the Eagles. Lex Joya in 3rd with an 18:37 led the way, followed by Evan Soggs in 4th, Robert McMorrow in 7th, Omar Sela in 9th, and Robert P. in 11th. And North Hall alumnus Ty McCormick, now running for Auburn University, continues his outstanding performances. Ty recently came out on top at the Virginia Invitational. Well, in a different type of racing entirely, the Hall County High School mountain bike team recently won its 2nd race of the Georgia High School Cycling League season. Sponsored by Mansfield Oil Company, the team, called Prima Tappa Cycling Club, is a composite squad formed of students from Hall County area high schools. Molly Hayes, for instance, is from Johnson. Anna Neighbors is homeschooled. John Wagner is from Gainesville. And Davis Brannion, Zach Funk, and Jack Saxton are all from Chester T. They teamed up to defeat Habersham County squad along with 9 other competitive teams. The girls' portion of the race started things off. Hayes slowly pulled away through a race that lasted almost an hour and a half to finish first, and Neighbors took 3rd despite suffering a crash. And in the boys' races, Wagner had a battle for the leader's jersey he earned in the first race. Wagner's rival Jack Brown from the Grayson area team grabbed an early lead, but Wagner passed him during the second lap and led until late in the race when Brown pulled back ahead for the win. Wagner did keep the leader's jersey for the series because of how badly he beat everyone for time during the first race. Prima Tappa's boys' freshman trio continued to do well as Brannion took 2nd and Funk 3rd, while Saxton moved up 2 places to finish in 5th in the 9th grade portion of the race. Funk, in fact, finished the last 2 miles of the race without the use of his seat after it came loose and became unrideable, forcing him to ride standing up. Wow. Softball was a lopsided win for Gainesville last week. Kayla Montague, Madison Oliver, and Kayla Street each had 2 hits and a couple of RBI for the Lady Red Elephants. And the 13-1 win against Salem, Abby Smallwood also had a pair of RBI. And funny, the Chester T Fall League is playing a basketball league. Chester T Fall League Basketball League already. Final from last week, West Hall beat Riverside Military 64-30. Wow. Talk about overlapping seasons, huh? Well, the wintertime will be here before you know it, but let's enjoy the fall season while we still got it. I'm Gary Glenn. More Hall County Sports next week right here. Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. And by Turner Wood & Smith, serving your insurance needs for over 100 years.